Okay, this is a continuation of the series. I think I'm going to call it Questioning an Al-Awlaki Supporter, because he is. And when I do his words, I'll be using this side of my face. When I do mine, I'll be using this side of my face, trying to, at least. And just want to let you know, if you haven't seen any more of this series, this is the first time you come upon it, I just let you know that I've discovered that even though Bush said Islam is a religion of peace, there are many, many Muslims on the internet, I've discovered, who are supporters of this guy that Obama killed for being a terrorist. And when you hear his words, maybe you'll understand why. So I think he's very truthful. Well, I wouldn't say he's really truthful, but he is one of the most truthful Muslims I've come upon. And since he is truthful, well, it's not really so much the truthfulness. It's that since he's very intelligent, he is intelligent. He actually said, no mas anymore. He doesn't like my question, so he took. I'm getting to the point where he just quit, But anyway, until then, I want to say he was very, very informative, and I thought, hey, I think I'll make these into videos so you can hear them yourself. Because can't get on the internet some other way unless I turn it into a book or something. So anyway, I'll now continue this thing here. Okay. Jesus had no reason to die in terms of forgiving your sins. If Islam is true, that is for sure. It makes no sense at all. If Islam is true, that's for sure. Allah is the most forgiving, and He doesn't have to kill His son or anyone else in the matter to forgive someone. Just send you to hell forever if you ever partner with Allah. The unpardonable sin, I see. That is just limiting God's ability by saying He had to die for your sins. How is it limiting God's ability? If God created the universe and is omnipresent, that means everywhere, couldn't He have easily done something the angel describes? Jesus was raised into heavens, and He will return to kill Ad-Dajjal, the Antichrist, in the future. By poking him in his one eye? Sounds like he's a Cyclops. It also sounds like it won't be much of a fight. By the way, if you read the Qur'an, it sounds like Jesus will also be the accuser of those who stood firm upon the Injil and fell for Allah's trick of only having it appear Jesus went to the cross. But then the deceit stops there, and you, a Muslim, have nothing to worry about being deceived by the best of planners. True? Another side point I want to make is the carrying around a cross with Jesus on it. It goes against the commandment. 2. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, like any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. But I bet you think I go around with that kind of cross, true? You can see that almost every Christian has moved away from his or her religion. This is also the case with eating pork, alcohol, and worshipping more than one God, which are all stated in the Bible as things which are not allowed. Christians believe they are worshipping one God who has three parts to Himself. Either way, even if you take Jesus as God, you can't make a carving of His image as God, as above the heavens. Not that Jesus is even comparable with God. True. You say, And, quote, it's not code for killing those who don't pay the jizya tax after sacred months. The jizya tax is on the non-believers who live in Muslim land. Who live on Muslim land. Wow. Oh my gosh. You actually admitted that? That's ballsy of you. In return, they will get the basic needs for survival. That is food and shelter. And protection after sacred months are passed. True? Also, they will have the protection of the Muslim army. Well, if they're giving them money, why kill them? True? Looking at it like this is very reasonable. What would you think if it was reversed? And you had to pay Christians a tax until you started sitting in a church every Sunday believing Allah has a son, or fear for your life after, say, Easter. Would you have a problem with that? If you think that it is unfair on the non-Muslims, then you are wrong. Again, what if there was a faith that wasn't Islam? It preached shirk and spread its version of religion with a sword. And when it took over your town, your Muslim town, you had to pay it a tax until you joined it or fought with it in its cause to kill anyone, including Muslims, who didn't submit to a God that wasn't one, but, say, 10. Would you think that was fair? This is because the Muslims have to pay the zakah early. This is because the Muslims have to pay the zakah yearly. That's a 2.5% of wealth, which is equal to the amount that the non-believers have to pay in the jizya. So, are you saying the zakah is to humiliate Muslims as well? If you read Qur'an 9, verse 29, paying the jizya is to humiliate. Are you sure the jizya is the same tax rate as that of zakah? You aren't taqiyya-ing here, are you? If the Muslims don't pay the zakah, they are fought against. If they are the same price, if this tax is the same price as it is to Muslims and non-Muslims, why is zakah called zakah and jizya called jizya? Just the same as it is for non-believers who don't pay jizya. Again, if they are the same price, why different names? Can you respond without taqiyya here? You might think it is harsh, however, it is not at all. Again, what if you had to pay a tax that was higher than what the believer had to pay until you said, quote, there is no God but 10 gods called Al-Allat. Called Al-Lot, like a lot of gods. And then, instead of pulling out a prayer rug 5 times a day, you had to pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie in the air while bowing to a picture of, say, Justin Bieber, or fear that after sacred months are passed, you could be killed for not submitting to Allah. Would you have a problem with that? The money from the zakah and the jizya is very important for the running of the nation smoothly. Like in Saudi Arabia? Are you sure? The punishment acts as a deterrent to prevent things like credit crunch, poverty, and economic downturn, as you are seeing today, where the rich aren't paying their taxes. Many people are made to suffer because of the few. Better to spread the wealth around, true? Prevention is better than cure. Prevention of what? Can you be innocent? Oh, and you know something? he didn't answer that. I said prevention of what? So then I answered this. I asked him this question: can you be innocent and not be a Muslim? Yes, you can if you pay the jizya. How about if you are to pay it to a non-Muslim religion that will kill you after its sacred months are past? That is the religion of the many gods called Allah. You'd have no problem paying to such a religion if it conquered you and other Muslims, telling you to pay to it, and telling you that to pay to it was to humiliate you until you bowed to pictures of, say, Justin Bieber, not 5 times a day, but just 4 times a day. True? What? And you know something, he didn't respond. So another time I asked him this: what if they don't want to submit to Allah nor pay the jizya tax? Meaning that to do so would be like worshipping a lot, the ten gods. And bowing to Mecca would be like bowing to a picture of Bieber. Then what? If you don't pay the tax, you are fought just as the Muslims who don't pay zakah. Which, again, you say is the same price? You say it's the same price? If so, why does it have 2 names? This is because it is an extremely heavy crime leading to the suffering of many. And since the jizya is in Saudi Arabia, you feel the Saudi system is great. True? You say, quote, you say this, quote, even though shirk is unpardonable, shirk is the only sin which will not be forgiven by Allah if you die before you repenting, and you will enter hell if Allah wills. All other sins are forgiven after you die, if it's not shirk. However, if a Christian who has been worshipping Jesus converts to Islam within his or her lifetime, then he is forgiven for the shirk which they committed before entering into Islam. So, the unpardonable sin is only unpardonable before you become a Muslim, true? Similarly, if someone repents in his lifetime having done shirk in the past, and it says that in the Qur'an. By the way, were those car bombs in Shiite marketplaces caused by Jews dressed up like Sunnis to make Islam look evil? Oh, I gotta stop here. This will be continued. Bye.